This was my first attempt with a 360-degree camera, and I hadn't realised how bad the wind noise was. I've had to do lots of voiceovers to get rid of the noise.
Penrith has lots of guide stoops around. This one's quite strange in that they obviously couldn't get Truellard all in one row, so he's added ARD after it. And the P of Pending almost runs off the edge of it as well. Guide stoop is another name for a guide stone, and because of these fingers, they're also called finger stones.
So we'll head off back to the car park.
Okay, before we leave the car park, you can actually see Chun Quoit on the hill, and you can see the path going right up to it. So we're going on, head up there. We have had a lot of rain in the past couple of days. Normally this is the path. Go over here. Well, that's the wet bit in the bottom of the valley. We're rising up to the end of the enclosed land here. Some of the heather dying, others coming out. Straight across the field. Back out onto the moor again. Some time here because I'm only wearing sandals. Chun, Quoit.
This is a Neolithic tomb with an entrance passage to the southeast, which is somewhere just in front of us. Early antiquarians suggested signs of a barrow, and those cobbles in front are probably the remains of it. There were signs of curbstones round the outside. On the top, there's a cut mark.
Extensive views right the way around. That's the north coast.
If you turn round east and head straight away from the Quoit, there's a path that leads up to Chun Castle.
It's only a couple of minutes from the Quoit up to the castle here. See the inner entrance to the castle. There's two concentric walls and the two posts on the inner the entrance through the inner wall. But there are two stones on the outside here which look as though they're entrances as well, but I don't think they are, because the real entrance through the outer wall
is along here. Here I am at the entrance through the outer circle. I'm standing where the ditch would have been, but that was filled up by the collapse of the outer wall. I'm now walking through the outer wall and into the gap between the two walls, and there's a nice piece of coarse stonework just in front of me. There was actually a lot of stone on Chun Castle until they built Madron Workhouse, when they removed lots of the stone from here to build the workhouse. I'm standing where the inner ditch would have been, but that has also been filled up with stone. So to get to the entrance through the inner wall, you have to walk along between the two walls here and into the inner circle. That may have been an arrangement to stop anyone seeing into the inner circle, or it may have been defensive. But here we are at the inner circle entrance.
We'll walk across this way. To a well with water in it, and probably on that side there are steps down to it. They're quite a way around the inside of these walls. In the later stages of the castle, they actually built small rooms, but that was
in the Romano-British period.
splitting this piece of rock to me. Is either that or they're practicing drilling. But this one has lots of holes in it, and I believe it's what they call the merriment stone. They used to have drilling competitions, and at some stage probably somebody found out that if you put black powder into each of these holes with a trail of powder between them and then lit one end, you'd actually have in effect a firework display. And there are tales of people being able to play tunes on certain stones. I think just here there are signs that there were buildings up against the inside of the inner wall.
I've put the camera on a tall pole and just following the inner wall round to give you some idea of the extent. It also gives you some idea of the extensive views from here, right round from Mounts Bay and the Lizard across to the north coast.
So that's the Chun Castle. We're now going back down the way we came, straight back down the way we came. We're back at Chun Quoit. So all it needs to do is to walk straight down this path towards the aerial and the car park. Thanks.